Hello and welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going to be interviewing Jonah Mussolino, a singer, actor, and dancer who played Gavroche in the national Broadway tour of Les Mis, Jason in the Broadway national tour of Falsettos, and young Calogero in the Broadway musical A Bronx Tale. He's going to be in the revival Broadway show of Caroline or Change in 2020, and he's in the Netflix show John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch. First, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Jonah Mussolino. I'm 11 years old. I live in Brooklyn, New York. I love school. I think history is really important because you need to know about your past, and that's why it's my favorite subject. I like to stay up really late at night because I'm a night owl. I am not an early bird at all. I want to wake up at 11 o'clock, but I have to get up at 6:30 for school every morning. It's a pain, but everybody has to do it, so.
But why do I need an algebra tutor?
Because you're not good at it. Now, I talked to the parents at your school, the rich parents. They say this tutor is a miracle worker. Those were their words, a miracle worker.
How did you get into acting?
Okay, so I was 5 years old, and my dad thought I would be like a sports guy like him, and so he put me in baseball, soccer, and basketball, like all the sports around there, and flag football. And one day, like a few years later, I went up to him and told him that I didn't want to do it anymore. He was a little upset, but then he understood because, you can't force me to do something I don't want to do. And I used to sing a lot, around my house. So my mom, she put me in this acting school, and she said I was too young to start, but she'll take me in to see, what my acting level was. And she said it would be 15 minutes, but it ended up being an hour. And she came out and said, I'm starting on Monday. So that's how my acting career started.
How do you prepare for a show?
Okay, so I just warm my voice up. Depending if it's on tour or Broadway, I'll usually do it at the theater or at the hotel. Then I'll use a steamer to make sure my voice is clear and clean. And that's how I prepare my voice for a show.
You know what's so upsetting? It's a celebration where I get presents, but everybody's yelling and everybody's ruining it.
Can you describe your average performance day?
So if it's on tour, I have to wake up, obviously, and then I have to get ready for school. Because we have school, my teacher sends all the work to the tutor there, which helps me do my schoolwork there, and then we send it back to my teacher in New York. If it's on Broadway, I don't need to worry about that because I can still go to school because I live in New York. After school, I usually have a lot of time before the show on tour, so I eat, get ready. Then I do my vocal warm-ups and steam, like I said before. And after that, I go to the theater to start getting ready for the show. For the show, I have to do my hair and then put on my costume after that. Then I usually go to the music director and we go over the hardest songs in the show. After that, we put our mic. If it's opening night, we'll have a mic check. If it's not, we'll just go back to the dressing room. And this usually has to be all done before 5-minute call.
Can you tell us a funny story from on set?
Okay, so when I was filming John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch, so I don't remember exactly how, but it kind of connected with the scene. So at the end of the scene, I said, follow me at Jonah.Mussolino on Instagram. And then everybody started screaming their social media Instagram account usernames. And that was the funniest part because John Mulaney was laughing. And they didn't use it, but it was super fun. And it was kind of a blooper technically that they could use in a blooper reel if they have it.
So, which one of you is the 12-year-old boy, Jonah? Him or you?
He is.
What is your favorite number from Caroline or Change?
Roosevelt Petrucius, coleslaw. She said, Mama, oh mama, where the change come from? Mama, oh mama, where the change come from? I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, Roosevelt Petrucci's Coleslaw. Love that song.
What's the most fun about being on a national tour?
National tour. So in general, theater, it would be like meeting the cast, the crew, everybody who's a part of it. But in theater, just theater, going to different cities, because during Les Mis, we would go to different cities like every single week. And sometimes we even go to Canada because it was a North America and Canadian tour. So we would go to both countries, usually North America, but here and there we go to Canada. That's the coolest part, to see like different people and how they act in different places and their behavior.
What's the most fun about being on Broadway?
Oh, like I don't have to be traveling every second. I get to stay home and I can sleep in my own bed, and I can have all the fun I want in New York while going to do the show. And I could see all my friends, like all my Broadway kids. We usually meet up at, there's this park in New York City called, they named it the Broadway Park because that's where all the Broadway kids would go. And we would meet up there, or the Marriott Hotel, because they have the best bagels. I mean, nobody could top them.
What was the hardest part about doing live theater?
Live theater. Because, well, sometimes like your brain just has moments where they forget. I call it a brain fart. When your brain just explodes and it doesn't remember what you're supposed to be doing, so you're supposed to improvise. And that's also a big risk, because you might be saying a whole other thing, you might be on a whole other topic than you're supposed to be on. That's the hardest part, remembering the whole show. Because you might act like, oh, you know the show so well, you don't even need to think about it. Then on stage you're like, what am I supposed to be doing? Brain fart.
What was your reaction when you got your first role?
So my parents got the call before I came home, because I was still in school, and they were like super, super surprised and excited. And so was I. When I came out of school, my dad picked me up and he was like acting really casual, like it was a cool, chill, regular day, until I got home. And then my agent asked for us, all of us three, and he told me, I literally died. I literally fainted, I swear. I was like, it was crazy. It was the best thing ever.
This is your math exam. Sit. Disgraceful.
This guy is great.
What is a dream role you'd love to play?
Oh, like if it's a kid role like my age, I don't really specifically have one, just like whatever comes up that my agent could bring me. But if I could choose an adult role, Jean Valjean from Les Mis. Oh, because his character is like so pure. And that's what I love about him.
How has acting impacted your life?
Well, I used to be really shy, like really shy. I was probably like the shyest person you would ever meet, until my acting teacher at Acting Out opened me up. And ever since then, acting has been like my pathway to like expressing myself and expressing my emotions inside. And that's what I love about acting so much.
Describe the process of making a Netflix show.
Okay, so there's a lot of everything. Like a lot of cameras, food, lighting, people, anything you could probably think of. And so when we're filming, you have to keep doing it over and over and over and over until you get it perfect. I mean, perfect. They can't have an take. You have to have it perfect, because it's one time. And by the way, it was a 2-week process for filming that specific special, but usually it's like a little longer probably. And you just have to keep doing it over and over and over until you get it right. And if we're doing long days, there's usually a lunch break in between, so we don't starve to death while we're filming.
Can you tell us one interesting thing that most people might not know about you?
So, actually, I love all types of genres of music. So, I have music records on my ceiling of like from the 50s to the 70s. That's where it ranges from. All this different type of music. And I think it looks pretty cool and it goes really well in my room.
Do you plan on continuing professional acting as an adult?
Yes, actually. I mean, it's unpredictable what I want to be when I'm a grown-up. I mean, I could change my mind. But there's a really, really high chance that I'm going to still want to be an actor. And I guess that answers your question with a yes.
Thank you for allowing us to interview you.
Oh, sure, no problem. And thank you for this opportunity.
Be sure to check out Jonah's social medias. We'll link them down below. And be sure to subscribe to the Amagi and check out some of our previous videos.